Hi, it's Kara Romanow back here again at the end of the first day of sessions at the Consumer Goods Technology Growth and Innovation Forum. I'm here with the Yasso co-founders, Amanda Klane, Drew Harrington. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. You guys did a fantastic session today, and by the way, the samples, everybody loved it. So I think you have a new group of fans. But I really wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the authenticness that you guys expressed in your presentation today. Being a startup is not easy, especially in this particular market. Can you give us a little bit of insight for the folks at home about the background, the idea, how you came up with it, and then how it really came to fruition? Who wants to start?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Drew.
All right. Yeah, Amanda and I grew up together in Easton, which is south of Boston, childhood friends, grew up in kindergarten, and went off to college as D1 athletes, came back home, and Amanda was working for her dad at a food brokerage company and was exposed to Greek yogurt and the phenomenal growth that category had. And a buyer had introduced the idea to them, and she came back to me, which I had another company at the time, and we just joined forces, and away we went. And through that process, went from the idea to the finalized product, and all the way in between, just learning how the industry worked, how we actually had to make the product, coming up with the brand name, the packaging, getting it to market, and then building an actual business and an organization, and including everything from finance to operations to marketing and everything else.
Amanda, what's been the biggest challenge, just taking a product like that and launching it nationally in such a quick period of time? What were some of the things that really challenged you that you had to work real hard to overcome?
I think some of the biggest challenges is that you're in an industry going up against some of the biggest CPG companies out there, so figuring out what your tactics are going to be to compete against them. So, how are we going to compete against their marketing campaigns when we have way less money? And I think we've done a great job of doing a lot of grassroots stuff and getting our product out there. And it's really our consumers that spread it for us. And I think the second biggest thing is just growing that fast and going from a team of just, me and Drew sitting in our apartment doing stuff to a team of about 20 employees now, and just all the pains that come with that sort of growth in that short of time.
We talked a lot about social media today, and we talked a lot, you heard from big companies and small companies talking about how they're really reaching the consumer through social media. I'm curious, because you guys have done, I'm a Facebook fan, you guys have done a great job of really embracing that community and building that connection. How did you go about doing that, and what do you think made it take off so quickly?
For us as a small company, it's the best way to engage with your consumers, and I think we do a really good job as a company in actually listening to our consumers on there and taking their feedback and implementing it in our products. So I think, our fans have a good, respect for us on there, and it's just grown really organically. Drew and the marketing team have done an amazing job of just reaching the consumers and, pulling them in and keeping them there.
Can you share some other kind of grassroots marketing tactics that you guys have used?
A big part of our success in getting the product, into consumers, most was free sampling, and a big part of that was, attending charity events that we were a big part of, or aligning ourselves with our retailers back home or throughout the country and supporting events that they participate in, and really just going out and meeting people and listening to see what they had to say about the product, whether they liked it or not, what flavors they'd want to see in the future. And I think that type of attitude towards listening to consumers or listening to the retailers and listening to anyone that really had anything to say translated into our social media strategy and just kind of kept that communication flowing at all times. You
even, for your new flavors that you just launched, you even let your Facebook friends vote on the flavors? How did that turn out? Was it what you expected?
Yeah, we've actually hosted a ton of contests over the years, and one of the most exciting ones was allowing our fans to decide the new flavors, and we took that insight and shared it with focus groups. And actually, the cool thing is what we did to get the focus groups going. A lot of people, we call them our most loyal fans, that had emailed us quite often. We invited them into the office, and they actually got to taste the new flavors and let us know what they felt as the most passionate fans of Yasso. And we kind of rolled it up from there and took all the new flavor suggestions and kind of went to development and pitched it to the retailers and got into stores.
I have to tell you, I tried 2 new flavors today, and they were both awesome. Cool. Absolutely. And these still good friends, the retailers?
Yeah, they're still good. They're still great friends, of course. But
I have one question, though. There were a lot of big companies in that room today when you guys were talking, and some of the feedback I heard, other than, wow, what a great story, again, how authentic, how honest, was, hey, why didn't they get any pushback from the retailers? You were talking about price, and you kept saying our retailers are our biggest friend, our biggest friends. Why do you think that you didn't get too much pushback? Why were they so accepting when the Walmarts of the world are a little harder on some of the bigger companies?
I think, we were a product that they didn't have, so it was hard to really define where it should be at the time when it came out. You had your Skinny Cows and your Weight Watchers, but we were kind of a new segment. As frozen Greek yogurt, there was nothing else when we first came out, so there was nothing really to compare it to, and all they saw was what was going on in the refrigerated aisle, and in that aisle, Greek yogurt was priced higher. So when we first launched, they didn't really have a benchmark, and so we were priced fair and competitive, and I think that just worked, and I think the bigger companies, yeah, they give them more of a brunt.
Absolutely. And they're still good friends, the retailers?
Yeah, they're still good. They're still great friends, of course. But just to expand on that too, we are extremely competitive. So we go into those meetings, and we work with them. It's not that we don't get pushback at all. We certainly do, and we just adjust our price accordingly. And just when they have a suggestion, we try to make those changes at retail level. So it definitely is a give and take, and we just kind of nurture that relationship and just appreciate what they want us to do and try to do our best as a small company to gather the resources and allocate accordingly.
Perfect. So communication with the retail customers and communication with the end consumers.
Yep.
That's the way to win. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.